Greetings! In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the new features of Bible Analyzer 5.2. We have two videos we're going to do of this. The first one's going to do the general features of Bible Analyzer, and then the second video is going to deal with the word study and Strong's enhancements we put into Bible Analyzer. First of all, some of the appearance features and functional features. You'll see that in the dictionaries that the tabs now have a yellow highlight to indicate which resource has the current title or the current entry. Here the word is scripture, and there you'll see that these three, and also you can click this button and they'll show up in a dark red color, show which titles have the entry. And there the Web 1828 has it, so forth. There used to be a book icon there, but we took it away and put the yellow highlight to make the more space in the tab. Second of all, another thing you can do with the tabs is you can rename them. Here we have the Thayer tab called Thayer 2, just so we can rename it. And we can take the 2 away and just call it Thayer and click OK. You'll notice how it renamed. So you can rename a tab now. And also you can move a tab. Say for instance we want to move this Thayer tab to another tab position. We'll just click on it, hold it down, and then let it up where you want it to be. And there, it's in the second place. And we can move this ISB over this direction, and there it is. So it's easy to move tabs. You can also move these commentary tabs. Say we move the TSKE over here, and there it is. And you can move the Bible tabs. Let's move this tab over here. So it's easy to move tabs now. But more visible new feature that we have in Bible Analyzer is something we call the Quick View panel. Now you'll notice in Bible Analyzer from the very beginning that we've had the pop-ups. If you put the cursor over a reference or a link, it will pop up on most of them showing you what you have. Well, now we have a Quick View panel, and if you click that Q button in the toolbar right here, here will pop up a panel that is a substitute display area for the data that the pop-ups normally displayed. Say for instance now, if I put the cursor over these, it shows up in that panel. If I put the cursor up here, it shows up in the panel. If you click, it's the same action as before. This just redirects the output from the pop-ups to this panel, which is very helpful. Sometimes the pop-ups get in the way, and they view or obscure your view of something else you're wanting to see. Well, this way you have a dedicated area for the data or the references versus Strong's numbers or whatever to show up. This panel can be moved around. You just grab a hold of the title bar, just click on it and hold it. You can move it around where you want it. By default, it's down at the very bottom like this. If you have a fresh start of Bible Analyzer and click the Q button, this is where it will show up. And you can move it. The little indicator will show you different places you can put it, or you can even let it free float like that. You could let it float off the page or whatever, but I seem to like it over here the best. So we just put it over here and have a small window, and that lets us view the things that the pop-ups normally would display. Let's hide that again for the moment. I'll show you another feature. Let's type in the beginning of a word. Let's make a wildcard search. We'll type LOV and a wildcard. And this will show our new word form chart that shows up in the search results. And so we typed in LOV and we got a word form, shows you the different forms of words that came from our search criteria. And there it was any word that starts with LOV. And here we have them, they show up in the chart. Also, you'll notice that the hit highlight is red in this case, and it's normally yellow, but you can change that in preferences. You just go to preferences and find where you want to change the search highlight, and you'll find that it's right here. It's red. We could change it to blue. We could save that. We could do a search again here in the AV this time, and let's do a search, and you'll see now they're in a light blue color. So that's another new feature. And one more feature we'll show you before we go to the next video is if you go to the dictionaries and commentaries, there's a default, set this title as a default dictionary button. Say for instance you were wanting to you had one type of study and you're wanting to look things up in just a certain dictionary. So here's Webster's 1828. We'll click that. It'll ask us, do we want to make it default? We go OK, and then no matter which tab is selected, say we're clear over here, if we click a word, it will take us to that default dictionary and show up what's in there. Also, if we hit the Control key and put it over a word, it'll pop up. This is with the Control key down now. And we'll just put the cursor over a word like that, and we'll get an instant pop-up of what the definition of the word is in the default dictionary. And again, if our Quick View panel is open, the same thing works. Now I'll just do a control, and notice there. Down here we're seeing all the definitions of the terms, and this is with the Control key down. Alright, this is most of the major features of general features of Bible Analyzer 5.2, and in the next video we're going to take a look at some of the new morphology features, Strong's number features, and our mutual highlighting features. Alright, thank you. In this video we're going to take a look at the new word study and Strong's number features of Bible Analyzer 5.2. Now in Bible Analyzer, any Bible tab that ends with an S, the tab label that ends with a small s, indicates it has Strong's numbers embedded in the text. Also those with an I for interlinear. Well, here we have the AVS, and you'll notice that Strong numbers aren't showing because they're not activated. Here in 5.2 we have some new toolbar buttons here, and one of them is an S for hide and show Strong's numbers. If we select that, you'll see that we turn that on and the Strong's numbers will display as in previous versions, and with the cursor over the number we get a pop-up of the Strong's definition. But in this version we have a new drop-down menu where you can select the Strong's numbers themselves. As you see, the next menu item it substitutes the Hebrew and Greek word for the number, so you can actually see the Hebrew or Greek word, the original word that the number is based on. The next entry is a transliteration of that word. Here's a transliteration of the Hebrew and Greek word. And then the last entry is that Strong's numbers are transparently linked behind the words. That is, there's no visible data in the Bible text itself, but still when you put the cursor over it, it's a link, it acts as a link, and you get the same information via a pop-up or the Quick View window. If you want to use that, you can use the Quick View window as well. You get the same information from the Strong's numbers data when it's transparently linked. Now an interesting feature is turn Strong's off just for a second. We click that and it'll turn Strong's off. Now if we hold the alternate key down, put the cursor over a word, you'll see that there's a green highlight that will highlight every other word in the text that is the same, same string. There's righteousness. So this is helpful for quickly finding the same word in the text. But if you have a Strong's encoded Bible and you turn Strong's on, notice that we hold the alternate key down and put the cursor over, and we have a blue highlight. And this highlighting is based upon the Strong's tags underneath the word. For instance, let's take a look at the counted here. Notice this is using the same Hebrew word or Greek word. I'll click it. This is word G3049, which I cannot pronounce, but we put the cursor over it, and you notice how it's translated in different ways. It was counted, reckoned, is counted, imputeth, reckoned. So this shows you all the different ways that the original Greek word is used in the text, which is this is interesting. Gives you an interesting, very quick overview of how the word is used. But more than that, let's make this big, and let's go to the Dual Viewer. Go to the Dual Viewer, and over here we have Textus Receptus Interlinear, which is a Greek text. And notice it also has the Strong's numbers behind it. But then if we hold the alternate key down here, notice how it will go across. It will find the Greek word that is coded with the same Strong's number in the English as well as the Greek. Let's go back over here to reckoned again. You have to click to give it focus. And there's reckoned. You can see on the left the English words that are under the number, and on the right the Greek words that are under that Strong's number. So this is very interesting and helpful to show you how you can match words and Strong's numbers and phrases together. Also, you can go and select another Bible. Here is a Spanish Bible coded with Strong's. Okay, say for instance we want to just do the same thing with a different language. Here is Spanish, and so you see how Spanish works. This is very helpful for translation, how the Spanish words match with the English words. But even more than that, let's go back to the full out of the dual mode. Let's click the parallel tab. We go to the parallel tab, and if we go in a non-Strong's encoded text, such as a regular AV, and with the alternate key down, you'll see that it's doing the words again. They're green. But if we go to a Strong's encoded text, notice they're blue. And all the way across, you're finding that it's doing the same thing it was in the dual mode, even though with all the multiple Bibles, it's showing you all the words that are tagged by that Strong's number. Let's go out of the parallel. Let's go back to the AVS. And there's one more feature that'll do this. Let's right-click and go to a new menu. It says export that verse from all Bibles to the multi-window. So here is that verse from all Bibles, and we can do the same thing here. Notice alternate down, and there we're getting the words, but then we go to a Strong's encoded text, then we're getting all the Strong's numbers linking. So this is a new feature for Bible Analyzer, and it seems to work quite well and does a good job of matching up different text that is according to the Strong's numbers. But now let's go back and see that although those were Strong's numbers based, here is a method that is word based. Here we have a new Textus Receptus Interlinear Bible, and again this one is Strong's encoded, but this turns Strong's off. And then here we just have the word. Strong's is not working. We're just going by the words themselves. Now let's click a word, and you'll notice that if it goes in Webster's, that's a Greek word and it doesn't work. But we have a new module called the Word Study Dictionary, and there is make it default. That's our new default text, the Word Study Dictionary, and it has every Greek word found in the Textus Receptus within it. So anytime we click a word, notice how it'll update any word. It'll give us the Strong's number, the part of speech, and the case, and a lot of word study information about that word. And so all the words in the Textus Receptus are there, and you just click the word. Furthermore, if you hold the Control key down and put it over a word, you'll get the pop-up of all that data for that word. There's, I can't pronounce these words, but there's the data that's also found in the Word Study Dictionary, if it's made default, of each one of these words, so you can instantly see what the study data is for that word. And this is apart from Strong's. It has nothing to do with the Strong's number. Now you'll notice up here there is a M button. This M button is a morphology button, which will show the morphology, which is the part of speech and other details about the word, and it shows them there. And that works the same way. The new Word Study Dictionary also has the morphology codes, and if you click one of the codes, notice it comes up and gives you the details of that code and what it means. Here's another one. Tell you the tense is perfect, voice active, mood infinitive, and so they are all in the Word Study Dictionary as well. And just like the other, if you hold the control key down, you instantly get a pop-up which displays the data about that word. So these are some of the new word study features in Bible Analyzer, and also we have even developed a new, let's turn Strong's back on, a new Strong's EX module. You'll notice here that's completely reformatted, has more data than before, also lists all the cognate groups, which are the root groups, which is refers to other words that come from the same root. Again, we have all of the references here for each usage of that word. We have some other, here's a combined word definitions that we put together, which has new search links. These here are actual searches done in real time where it searches and finds each one of the references to that Strong's number. So this acts or works differently than it does in the Strong's EX. And then we have even some more modules that will work with Strong's numbers. But anyway, people have asked for more word study data, and we've tried to give you some of that in this version of Bible Analyzer. And we believe it'll be helpful for those that seek that type of information. But we hope you find all this of value in your studies, and it'll help you in your service for the Lord. Thank you.